played Heaven's Arena, so.
Me and Gabe have already solved the debate.
Evan, you want to know why you're technically wrong? You can buy as many militia as possible. They're not. They are soldiers, but
All these soldiers are
they aren't
dead
your
because you're in
soldiers
an
until you
active
buy
war.
them.
You're
Wait,
in
so are the
active war.
soldiers going after the military leaders, like active? Like, are they like at your doorstep?
They have nowhere else to go. All your soldiers are dead. They're gonna march to your heart.
Evan,
Yeah.
you can always relocate the leader.
Aiden, they're just gonna go straight to the capital and they're gonna burn it down. Then you lose.
Yeah.
Evan, Evan, you don't have to. Evan, as long as the leader lives, it doesn't matter where the capital resides.
Aiden, you have no sauce. You ain't
said,
getting no
You
no
specifically
draws.
said kill all the soldiers. You did not
If all the
say
soldiers
kill
are
the
dead,
leader
we
nor
have
the
nothing.
general. These people are really important to an army. If you kill all these people, then the war's over. But
Aiden,
if you don't kill them,
if you
the
kill
war
all
isn't
the,
over. Evan,
if you kill all
Evan,
the
you
soldiers,
know the
there's no one
13,
to protect
Evan,
the
you know
whole
the
land.
13 colonies, right?
I'm glad
They had
people
young
recording
soldiers,
this.
but they also had townspeople and militia.
Aiden, you're not listening.
If you are a good leader, you can take down an entire army. You just need like people. You can hire people from like other nations. Do not forget, there are allies that will help you. There are
But you don't have your
that
army.
will join in and beat up the force that's hurting you.
You don't have your army to protect your homeland. The
Evan,
capital. They're just gonna go straight.
Probably why
They're gonna
you
burn
have a
it.
bad grade.
Ooh, hit you with a bad grade.
Think about it like this, all right? If anything, like here, all your soldiers are dead. They're marching straight to your capital. How are you gonna get enough soldiers to stop them 500,000
Evan,
plus
you
soldiers in time?
Evan, soldiers move slower than one entity moving really fast.
How can you buy enough soldiers? How can you train enough people? How?
Evan, you don't need to train them. You just need to implement them where you need them. That's what
Soldiers
militia
trained
are
a
for.
reason.
Evan, militia are literally just hire soldiers. Even then, you have allies. Do you not forget, like, if you're a NATO nation, there are other people that are willing to team up and beat up the one big nation.
All your soldiers are dead. You don't have any.
Evan, I'm not talking about soldiers. If you're one nation, you can have other smaller and larger nations far away and close up to help beat up the force that's hurting you.
Thing is, your capital is gonna be burned down and the nation's dead already.
Then you can just rebuild one when you're done.
Once they storm the capital, they're gonna reach the army people.
You can just build it in another area. Why? Evan, you can just build a different capital in a different area.
No,
Building stuff takes time.
Nation.
no, Gabe, it's not that. If your capital burns and you lose, the other person takes your land and you can't reform anything because you're gone.
Evan, you have Evan. When you're fighting a war, you're not fighting alone, unless you're Germany.
Aiden, you lose all your soldiers. You lose all your weapons. If you don't have a soldier, you can't lead any army. You can't
Evan,
lead.
you don't have to rely on yourself to fight a war.
I'm glad I'm recording this.
Aiden, you
This is how I get free clout. I'm posting this on TikTok too.
You don't understand, Aiden. Like literally, if you don't have an army, like they're just gonna go to your capital, they're gonna burn it down. You won't be able to rebuild anything because your nation's dead. It's dead.
Evan,
It's died.
Evan.
The way you win a war, isn't that by like
Evan, you
taking
can
over the
just
capital?
Evan, you can move the leader. The leader is the most important thing. And you
It's
can
not the
reach
leader.
Evan.
It's
There
the
are other
whole-
people from other
it's-
areas that can
it's
help
the
you.
Capital. If
You're not much of a leader without a nation to command.
your
Yeah,
nation,
but you can actually get help from other people. Evan, you don't have to be lonely. You can have friends to help beat up the big bully.
The power of anime.
in the thing is, all your
What the
soldiers are dead. People are marching towards the nation.
Evan, sometimes the best solution is to run. You need...
YBA! YBA!
Yeah, that's sad.
You can't run away if there's no land for you to run into.
Evan, then just fly in the sky. Evan, you just need to run away. You need to hide somewhere. Evan, like, you could be on a coastal nation, and then you just move inland.
What the fuck?
They kill all your soldiers, all your weapons, all your army.
Besides,
It's not
Evan,
theirs.
you just need to buy time, so that way, even if they reclaim the capital, you can take it later.
They have all your weapons though. How are you gonna take it? How's the United?
Well, Evan, if they wiped out your tiny, puny army, then yeah, it probably isn't much. Because if you wipe out an entire army and it didn't
No,
do anything to
that's-
their army, then your nation's probably like a NATO nation. It's weak and like worthless by itself.
Imagine all the United States soldiers gone. There's nothing to protect
Evan,
anywhere. from
if
this.
every single soldier was gone from the United States, you realize that there are other nations that are willing to help you.
The other superpowers will overpower them because there's no one left defending the land. They're just gonna start
Evan,
taking the land and
Evan,
they're gonna
there are-
occupy
Evan,
it.
Evan,
They're gonna,
Evan, there are other people that are willing to help you. Really, Evan, even if all the power from the United States was gone, there are friends from other areas
they're
that
gonna
will
need
help
time
you.
to get there. They're gonna need time. That's why you don't understand. The
Evan,
soldiers
they
are already
can
there
first
to
send in
march
the
you.
fast units and the slower units later. There is also the Navy.
Aiden, all the soldiers are dead. Every single one of them. Everyone.
The
Everything.
Navy
Don't
from
stop.
the other nations. Thus, Evan, the other nations can just be just
I'm gonna
as
ask
strong.
people on TikTok, who would you think would win?
Aiden.
Like,
Don't
if you had, Evan, if there was just one big superpower, your power is gone, but there are other nations, like, pretty much the entire world's fighting it, you would win.
Your whole nation is gone. Your whole area, your homeland is gone. You don't have anything to protect because it's taken by the country.
Evan, if it was like that, then the other nations could just step in.
Aiden, they already have all the weapons that you have. They have
From
all the
you.
things.
Evan, as soon
There's
as the other
nowhere.
nations
There's
realize that you're being
nowhere for
attacked,
the.
they would
There's nowhere
send
for
help.
the leader to hide. They can just shoot him, and he's dead.
Evan, even if I died, like if I'm the leader, I died. The other people are still willing to help because they would realize that it's a threat. Other people from different nations would come closer and beat up this big threat. Like, Evan,
Your main weapon is dead. You can't
Evan.
use it. You're
Evan,
done.
Evan, your main weapon is dead, but the friends will help and beat up that thing.
Aiden, if-
Aren't the friendly nations gonna realize this after what's it called? The other army's already advancing?
Yes.
The other army's already advancing. Wouldn't they just try to like minimize the advance, or at least stop it entirely? Because if it's just one big thing that's just like,
Well, another nation's problem isn't exactly your problem always.
yeah, but you could always recruit them later. You could use this, like you can basically
Well,
use this.
there's
to, like,
probably not gonna be a later if
Yeah,
they're already
this land
advancing.
is land. It's literally limited. They're just going to take the
How
land
the
and then
fuck
they,
does
it's-
this
it's
thing
theirs now.
work?
yeah,
I
Evan,
don't
they
understand
would also
this.
realize that it's a threat posing to them. They would have to remove it. Like, yeah, like you know how Germany like kept capturing things, and then like most of the people that were there just pretty much got wiped out, and then like
Yeah.
the United States stepped in and then
What if
beat
all
up
the
the
United
nation.
States soldiers died? Then the Ukrainians, they're going to get stomped. They're going to get curb stomped. They're going to die. That's what happens, dude. That's what happens.
They're gonna get
It's
arcade.
unstable. Exactly. They're going to get arcade. They're going to get
Yeah.
arcade.
Evan, people
Smart
are
platinum.
other people from other nations are helping. Evan, you can help in more than one way. You can donate to soldiers. You can donate material. There's so
All
much
the
you can
soldiers
do.
are dead. They're literally dead.
Also,
Um,
Evan, you can send in spies and like traps.
The spies wouldn't even
Like
make it.
Evan, you know how there's a
Fire,
one-
yes.
there's one thing that how like
What the
the
fuck?
war for like I forgot what it was. But there is this part of that was for a war. Like they threw in a dead body, gave it important files, and then Hitler thought they should go over there. But that spot wasn't important, and then they took over the important spot. But that's pretty much the summary. Like, you can slowly win the war,
Oh.
even if it's gonna cost a lot.
You know, to quote SSJ9K, Tanjiro finna get killed, fucker, you feel?
Exactly. That's all you need.
Evan, Evan, you have to realize there are allies that will help you, even if like
Even
It
if the
wants-
allies are there, it's gonna take a horribly long time since your nation is gone. It's literally taken over.
yeah, but Evan, they would realize their nation is being attacked from the moment it gets attacked. Wouldn't you want to send help as soon as you're
I wouldn't say they would
You're
notice it
fighting a war.
immediately.
and there are allies? They would want to step in and help you.
You can't send too much because then they're gonna attack your nation. How's that, huh? They're just gonna attack that nation.
Well then, Evan, it's better to spread out the effort so that way you can all deal with it.
Then they're just gonna attack all the efforts because it's not too much. Then
Then,
they're gonna
Evan,
take
Evan,
over everything.
Then
the enemies
all the
win.
soldiers were spread out into different areas, some varying from really long distances and some really close. If it was spread out like that, right? You could take out the leader easily. Because the leader would pretty much have a weakened force to defend himself. Or herself.
That's not how war. That's not how war works. You have to use your resources sparingly because it's gonna get dry too quick if someone takes a whole nation. You're basically not gonna get
Evan,
it back.
if it's a nation versus a nation, and that nation, like the nation that I'm pretty much in, like I pretend I'm the leader, like the nation I'm pretty much in, I lose all my soldiers, but I have my generals and stuff, right? My generals and like smaller leaders. I could then hire militia, ask for more help, and then like send in more soldiers from different countries to come help me.
what's
Even
the
then,
military
even if
force?
it takes time, you can escape. But like you
That's-
can just prolong the fight until you get enough, and then you can get back out. Even then,
That's
other
if the
nations
enemy
are
doesn't-
willing to help you to bring in their soldiers. Not a lot, but enough to help you.
That's
and if
if
it's-
the enemy doesn't
If
attack
it's
you.
an
And
extreme threat that
That's-
just appeared out of nowhere and wiped out all your army, the other nations would realize that's a really big threat, and it's probably gonna go after them. So they should deal with it as well. Don't you agree?
and they're just gonna defend from both sides, and that's if the enemy doesn't
They would
attack them.
defend and
That's
attack.
if- that's
Sending
if the
some of
enemy
their
doesn't
soldiers
attack them.
to
They don't
the-
have time to
the
recover.
other soldiers to
Once they
defend.
defeat them, they take the homeland, and then they win.
Evan, it's about being strategic. You are just thinking, if you have big burly muscles, you win. Even then, you can just you can just wipe it out with an entire button if you're the United States, because then you could just send the rest of your missiles to destroy the area.
You don't have any soldiers left. What are you gonna do? You
You
only
can
have
ask
generals.
for help.
You only have generals.
But you also gotta remember that your nation probably has enemies.
Yeah, Evan. Even if you
You're
have
just gonna
enemies,
capsize the
the
nation.
enemies
You're
are
gonna
going to
take
want to
over.
attack you because you're weakened. So like, you're being attacked from multiple areas. But don't forget, there are friends to help you.
It
You
takes
don't
time-
understand that.
It
It-
takes time to deliver troops, and they're already marching over there. How are you
Then
gonna do
stop.
I do believe
Otherwise,
that the
you can
nation
die.
that's currently attacking you would be faster than some army that only recently
Besides,
found
you
out.
can just throw away your citizens' lives. You wouldn't be a good leader, but you would be a leader.
in.
Evan, you need to do. Evan, leader would have to stall
Who the hell
long
is he
enough
doing
for
this
the
to?
other nations to help. You can just throw away all the lives of your citizens by basically using them as meat shields and telling them to fight for your lives. And if they don't fight, they're gonna get slaughtered. So they
That's
would
not
just
how
pretty much
capturing a
either
nation
be
works.
morally
No.
lifted up.
What
Or-
what someone would do in this situation, they put their hands up in the air, they go towards the army, and then they just surrender. Because that's a strategic defeat. They can't do anything about it. Because they're coming from all
Evan, you
sides.
can
They don't have
enlist help.
any, they don't have
Evan,
anyone to
you
defend
have
themselves.
enough money, right? Like, if you have a lot of money, you have enough
You
material
have
to
to
get
consider the
more.
morality of the people. They won't willingly do. They won't just let them take over.
Then you can give them a reward. Like this. No tax, 1 month for the rest of the year.
1 month? That's not gonna
Every
win them
single
over.
month For fighting for your life.
Every single year. 1 month.
Oh man,
Absolutely no
you're clowning
taxes.
right now. Aiden, you're clowning.
Yeah, I think this is some clowning right here.
Besides, citizens like money.
The clown music just popped on, Aiden. I think this might be your theme.
Evan, like, if you have a lot of money, you have a lot of power. You know that, right?
Aiden, who's gonna
Besides,
defend?
Evan,
If you're
Evan.
actively being taken over, very quickly too, they're just gonna be marching towards the heart of the nation. You know that, right?
Then just blow it up.
Then you just lost your nation. You lost everything.
But
You lost
wiped out
everything.
the threat.
They wouldn't take out the whole threat because they still have soldiers, Aiden. They have soldiers stationed
Evan,
inside their
just
area.
blow up
You don't.
where the
You
leader
just
is.
lost. You just lost. Get Bozo, Bozo.
Evan, if you take out the leader, you win. But if the leader lives, you don't.
Aiden, you don't have any soldiers to defend. You can't lead an army without an army.
Evan, you don't need an army to survive. What you're trying to do is live.
Who's good? Aiden,
Evan, if you have the whole world or a lot of nations to help you, you can really ask for their help. And then yeah,
imagine,
like,
Aiden,
there's
imagine
always
this.
Evan,
Aiden,
you
let me
always have to ask
Let-
for
let me
it's like
talk-
you
let me
ask
talk.
for help to deal with a really big
What
threat.
what you're saying is the United States president, right? He has no soldiers. He goes into his secret bunker, right?
Yeah, Joe Biden goes
All
into a
the
secret
soldiers
bunker.
Are marching from all the sides of the United States, right?
But you
You're
have
gonna
to
just
buy
over
time.
but they're taking over the land.
Okay, how the fuck does
They're
this work?
taking the land so that you can't claim it back. They're using it for housing. They're using it for military and supplies. They're doing that so that you can't actively take it back. They'll get all the resources from the land, and then they'll take it. And then by the time you do that, by the time that the allies
Evan,
arrive, right?
if they took away all your weapons, you can you can always ask for help. That's the main thing I've been pressing on.
They're
Like,
already in your
there's always
nation!
help that you can use.
They're just gonna shoot back then. It's a
Evan,
war.
different nations have different power.
Also, the enemies could also ask for help. They can ask for help too. But you know what? The United States, it's heavily loaded with guns everywhere. It has guns, everything.
It's a
Anything
gun
you
store,
need
bro.
for- Like, legit.
Even then, the citizens can help as well.
I don't think some hood thugs are gonna.
Stop it, army.
Yeah.
That's well trained.
Well, the hood dogs can terrify everyone.
Alright, Aiden, you're just clowning. I'm just gonna end this here. You know what? If you're still recording,
I'm still
comment
recording.
down below. Comment down below.
Yeah.
Who's gonna win? The whole nation does not have any army at all. But with one general or like a few generals and people to like dictate stuff. Right?
Evan, if it's an
Or
entire nation, it wouldn't just have a few generals.
Gigantic army, right? Right there.
It would probably have like 20 or 30 generals. Maybe around 20.
That's a lot of generals, Aiden.
Well, if it's a big nation, then wouldn't you think you would need a lot of generals? Because if all your army was suddenly wiped out, wouldn't you think of it as a threat?
Have one general and
Even
everyone
then, the
else
leader is
is-
still alive. The smaller components of leaders are still alive. You can use those to help you.
This is how I know you don't know that much, right? You are stupid. Let's get out here.
Evan,
Ooh. Ooh.
Evan, you aren't the one that watches.
Ooh.
Evan, you aren't the one that watches historical and educational stuff on
Yeah,
the
and you don't watch Fist of the North Star. Ooh.